Hello everyone, hope you are doing well. I have created a series on Python learning. So I hope it will help who will start to learn about the Python basics. Let's start. So first thing is that what is Python? Python is high level programming language. It's an object oriented programming language, and most importantly, it's an interpreted programming language. Basically, it's being used for software development, machine learning, complex mathematics operation, web development, integrating multiple systems simultaneously, and so many other applications. You know that nowadays many applications, many AI applications rather I can say, depends on Python language. It's released probably in earlier 90s, in 1991, and it's invented or created by Sir Guido van Rossum. Remember, Python is interpreted programming language, not compiled programming language. Now, what is the difference between interpreted programming language and the compiled programming language? So for interpreted programming language, we can say that it executes commands directly without earlier compiling a program into machine language instructions. For compiled programming language, we can say that it's executed by compilers, not by interpreters. Is needed at least one step to run, it's needed at least two steps to run for compiled programming language. For interpreted programming language, it delivers slower performance. Why it delivers slower performance? Because when it will run the program, or when the program runs in the machine, at that point it will not have the compiled version earlier in the early stage, because it doesn't have the compiler. However, for compiled programming language, before running any program, already it has the compiled version of the code. So that's why it delivers better performance and the faster one. Now, for interpreted programming language, only during running of the code it can get the error in instructions, because it doesn't have the compiled version in the earlier stage. In the compiled programming language, it can get the error during compilation, so before executing the instructions it can get the error. Today's session, or in the entire series, we will learn about the Python. So I hope Python is the best example for the interpreted programming language. However, for compiled programming language, we can say that C, C++, or Java. Now for you, just I kept on easy questions, that is, can you please tell me any other example of interpreted programming language? You can let me know in the comment section. Next thing is that how to set up Python. So in that section, I will not describe all the steps in detail, because those steps are already maintained in many websites or many marketplaces. So you can refer those websites how to install the Python. However, I am just trying to guide you what are the things you need to focus when you need to set up Python. So first thing, download the latest release of Python from the specific website. I will post those URL in the comment section. Now, how to install in Windows OS? So first you need to install the latest release of the Python. Then you need to add the python.exe to path to set the global environment variables. And then you can search the default IDE for Windows, IDE LE. Just you can open the Python shell. Now for in Mac OS, you can set up the homebrew by which you can install any software. That is very easy for Mac OS by using homebrew. So the syntax here is that brew install Python 3. So when you will run this syntax in the terminal, the Python 3 will be installed. After successful installation, you can check what is the version of your Python 3 in your machine. Now, to write the code or to run the code base, we will use the PyCharm IDE. However, in marketplace, there are lots of IDE you can install, or you can install the VS Code extension for Python. That is also applicable. You can use the VS Code, but for the entire series, we will use the PyCharm. So basically it will help to learn the basics of Python, how to write the code base, what are the procedures to run the Python, how can we show the output. Those things we can see in the PyCharm, but other tools are also will be good in the marketplace. You can use it. Now if you don't want to install, or if you don't want to execute the Python code base in your local machine, you can use the online tool. So one of the best example here is that the Replit. You can use that to run the Python code in the Replit. So let's see those URLs here quickly. So this is the first URL from where you need to download the Python. So after downloading the latest release of the Python, so after that for Windows you need to set up the path. For Mac OS you just need to check the Python is correctly installed or not. For Windows OS or Mac OS, to check the version, you can just run the command python 3 :version. After that you have to install the PyCharm IDE that you need to install with respect to your OS. So here Windows, Mac OS and Linux. So based on that you can install the PyCharm. However, if you don't want to install or don't want to run the Python code base in a local machine, you can use the online Replit. So in the replit.com you can write the Python code base as well as you can run the Python code base. So in my Mac I can just run that what is the latest version I have installed. So Python 3. So this is the latest version I have installed, 3.12.3. However, I think here the latest release is the 3.13. So in this way you can install, you can set up all those things in your machine. So for today's session, I will not go through the next chapter, how to write the Python code or what are the basic things we need to learn. Tomorrow we will discuss what are the basic things we have to learn with respect to the Python language. Thank you everyone for your time.